The idea for writing original rockers came, I think there were two, I had two sort of ideas that I wanted to put into the book. The first one was a result of reading an essay by Rebecca Solnit in the LRB, I think, about how time had changed in this age we live in with the internet, and our concentration is less than it used to be, and how time is fractured by social media and by our attention being grabbed all the time in every different direction. And the thrust of her argument was writing and reading is less easy than it used to be, and obviously she's a travel writer, and she said she would go on a long flight and no one would know where she was, and it was a very liberating feeling. And I remember reading that and thinking it resonated with me because the way I listened to music had definitely been changed by digital technology, and I very rarely listened to albums. I listened to records less and less, even though I have lots of records, and like people who own lots of records, very proud of them. I didn't actually engage with them or listen to them really, and I was listening to half an MP3, not allowing a song to finish, and I thought the way I used to experience music was far deeper and far richer, and of course far more satisfying. And the place I learnt to experience music was a record shop I worked in. So I wanted to see, first, if I could remember what it felt like to listen to music in that way, and second, if I could remember, to write about it. The other idea was, like many people, I've enjoyed the renaissance in nature writing recently, and read many books where usually white men go off to a remote part of the Outer Hebrides and jump in a lake and have an epiphany afterwards. And I perhaps might have read one of these books too many, because I realised that actually the strangest place I've ever known was Revolver Records in Bristol, and in terms of having its own ecosystem, its own culture, its own language, its own indigenous population, it was as strange and beguiling and scary an environment than anywhere written about in nature books. So I wanted to see if I could write a sort of nature book about a record shop.